Hi, also we're back on another episode. Today's series is going to be called Identifying DSOs. And, well, as you can see, we are going through global clusters today. We're not going to go through all of them, we're going to go through like a few, Messier 15, Messier 14, 13, 9, 4, and of course, Omega Centauri, our beloved Omega Centauri. So that's not a lot. That's like 6. So yeah, shouldn't take too long. And if there's any background noise, it's from my bird. We just scope, I guess. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So, over here I've highlighted the, identifying features for you. And the star, as you might guess, is this. This is that's the whole cluster. This is the star, yep. So this is a star, it's quite obvious. Messier 15 is one of the few, if not only, clusters with, like, a star right next to it. So it's quite convenient, if you ask me. And aside from this star, we also have this very magical thing over here called the claw. At least that's what I like to call it. And as you might see when I draw it out, it looks like a claw, right? It's like those claw machine things. Quite nice, right? Oh, over here this wasn't erased properly. Doesn't matter, we'll draw it again. So yeah, there's another claw. Here it's here. Then once again, there's another claw. It's quite simple. You might want to try to spot the claw here. It's kind of simple, but it's not that simple. But it's okay because by the time I finish the sentence, I will draw it out for you anyway. And it's right here. It's like reversed, which is why it might not be that easy to spot. But yeah, it's right here, the claw. And just like that, you will be able to identify Messier 15, which is, well, also known as the Great Pegasus cluster. There's an easy way to remember Messier 13 all the way up to 15, and I'll teach you that later, but for now, let's take a look-see at where is our beautiful Messier 15. Let's do a quick search, shall we? So, Messier 15 is located at the foot of Pegasus, right below, like, here. So if you see here, this one's Delphinus, right? So if you look at it, you basically just spot Delphinus, and then spot this bright star, which is, this one, NF. Unfortunately, I can't draw directly here, which is a bit disappointing, but the general gist of it is just, Delphinus, NF, bam. If you remove all the constellation lines, right, it should be sort of obvious. It's like in the middle, Or, I mean, it's closer, like, here. But, good enough. If you're able to see Hercules' stars, which you probably would, you can use that as reference because it's on top of Hercules. In fact, it might be better if I take a screenshot, which I will do so now. So as you can see, if I take markup, right, and then, I will need to change this to white, probably. Actually, no, blue, yellow should work. Yeah, so, you see Hercules, there's 2 here, this star. And then you have Delphinus here, right? So you draw a line here to here, and then you have this line here. It kind of uppercuts, right? But we can just kind of ignore that. So using this as like the middle line, you sort of just do this. Like or at least just use this as a gauge and just go half. So that's how I would do it. But basically the gist of it is just it's between Pegasus and Delphinus, and that itself should be good enough for you. So yeah, that's Messier 15 for you. And now moving on to the next one. So over here we have Messier 14, which is located in Ophiuchus. And so over here we have the Q and the T. This might sound a bit confusing, but I'll explain, like right now. So using this like example, right? This is like a big O, right? I'll use the ticker pen, big O. And then when you go down here, you see this line, it's like a Q, correct? Or a pan, if you will, but like since there's a T, that might as well be a Q. Letters are nice. So here this is the Q. And similarly, when you look over here, let's see if we can spot the Q. Well, it's here, if you can't see it. And over here, it's here. And over here, it is here. And if you can't spot the Q, that's where the T comes in. Because the T is conveniently right next to the pan or well, the Q right here. See? There's a T. There's a Q. Over here you can't see the T, unfortunately, but over here you can. See right here and right here. That's the T for you. And then over here we have this T and then this thing. So yeah, that's a Q and that's a T. And that's how you spot messier 14. There's all rhymes here, which I kind of like, but yeah, it's nice. And as for where you find it, that's equally simple. So you go here, you see Ophiuchus, right? See, there's the bottom of Ophiuchus, and then over here we have Scorpius and Ferns, and up here Serpents and Centaurias and Ferns. And let's just let's see, how do I get a nice line to it, shall we? Messier 14, please come back to me. No. Wait, I can't tap on it again. That's so sad. Please. Okay, thank you. And then I think I'll just take a screenshot again and do the same thing because it works. So, well, over here you have Ophiuchus, right? You can see Serpent's head over here. And then you can see the teapot over here, right? So you have, just your teapot doing your thing, chilling. Oh, I can't draw a teapot anymore, that's so sad. Alright, this is so wrong. Wait, how do I reverse it? Okay. Ah, there you go, this looks so much better. See, this is a teapot, and this is messier 14. And you might wonder, why should you care about the teapot? It's like so far away. Very true. But Ophiuchus itself is really not that obvious. When you have this one. If you really want to, I think you can kind of do this. And then in the middle to the left, you kind of just go here. That surely works. It does this as well, so yeah. You have a way, I mean. But like, alternatively, you can use these two as a guide and also use this. So just, like cut through the middle, kind of. It's a weird direction. Yes, I know, but it is a direction, so do what you will. I mean, obviously the best thing would be to use, all these. This one kind of goes like here as well. So there's a lot of things you can refer to, but just remember that it's like below, the Ophiuchus and its friends, I suppose. It's just, this line here. It's like on top of here. Then it's like here. So yeah, that's messier 14. And now we can go back. So now we move on to messier 13, which is in Pegasus. Wait, this one's in Hercules. Yeah, this one's in Pegasus. I'm stupid. Ignore the brain cell damage I had right there. So yeah, messier 13 is the hair strand, which is this. I don't know what else to call it. I have a few curves behind, if you still remember when I scrolled through it briefly, but yeah, this one's the hair strand. It's like outside of the cluster, sort of, and it's like kind of random, so hair strand it is. And it's surprisingly obvious. I don't know. Like, it's here too. And over here, it's right here. And here. If there's anything you should notice, it's that depending on how long or how much layers or whatever you do to the image, right, that the hair strand's distance towards the cluster is variable, but it will be there, right? So that's how you spot it. So that's kind of it for messier 13, to be honest. So yeah, cope, I guess. And as for its location, messier 13 is here, convenient, right? This one should be theoretically easy to find since it's just right on the line, kind of. It's convenient, yeah. But if you want to just, go through the normal sequence of taking a screenshot, it's like here, right? So basically you find the keystone, right? You locate this. Well, once you locate this, you know the star's here. And the other star's here, right? So just follow the two lines, and then you take the middle point. basically you use this L shape of the keystone as reference. It's not even L. Just use this, whatever this is, as reference. Then you can find this star and then this star and then find Messier 13. It's not that difficult. So yeah, the difficult part is remembering all of this, but like it itself is not that bad, I would say. But moving on. This one here is Messier 9, and you recognize it by the tail, which, as you can see, it's here. You know, there's a demo. Straightforward, yeah. This one, the difference from like the other ones is that this one's a lot flatter, a more perpendicular. It might look more like a Q than the Q, honestly. In fact, I should call the Q a pen, but because it has a T, it will not be the pen. Unfortunate. You see here's the tail again. And this one here, guess where the tail is? It's weird, okay? You see this one, the tail looks so big. Tail looks so big. This one, the tail's very small. It's just this. But it's still there. Similarly, this one here, the tail's quite small, but it is still there. So this one's the tail. And it's quite obvious. So if you look at Messier 9, right? The tail. And then if you look back here, you see the Q. You realize that it's quite different. Like this Q is like much longer, right? And it has friends, which unfortunately Messier 9 does not. So this one's like, you know, a straight down long tail or a long line, and it's a line. You see, there's like no curving whatsoever. But this one here is a curve. You know, it's a distinct curve. So it's different basically. We can't use the star as reference because it kind of appears in some and it kind of doesn't appear. So yeah, just don't bother. And as for where to find it, oh shit, that's the wrong place. We will go to stellarium again, input Messier 9, and you realize it's back in Ophiuchus. Magic, right? Ophiuchus has a few. I know there's at least 2, I forgot this more, so I will just put it as at least 2. And this one is, once again, kind of disappointing. It's like, I guess it's just, I mean, it's not that hard as well, but it's also annoying. It's like easy in the sense it's right below, right? Like how hard can this be? You know, just right down here. But like if this star is invisible, you're kind of done for, you know. It's not very nice. So, but if this star is visible, but you still need some help, take this line, midpoint, slightly up. So yeah, most of the time you just can do it via like basic star reading, I would say. So shouldn't be too difficult. But yeah. That's Messier 9 for you, and we will move on. So moving on, right, we have Messier 4, which is a bit more interesting. In my opinion, Omega Sun is the most interesting, but this one certainly has its ways of identification, which I've conveniently drawn out here. So we have the triangle, which is like this thingy. This is the L shape. And this is the line. This, like, you know, okay, so like for far enough pictures, you can use all 3, but you're probably better off using these 2. For like very close ones, you are better off using the triangle, which is located like here. There's a triangle. Can't really see the rest out here, unfortunate. And this one is an intermediate one, so you're better off using the L and the triangle, which is here and here. And then for this one, the further off one, you're once again better off using the L and the line, though you can vaguely make out the triangle over here. But once again, it's not the clearest, so it's more like just a check, but it's not really something that you should actively be looking for. It's easier off using the bigger ones, right? So that's Messier 4, and we should all know where it is. It's like right up here. Is this Messier 4? Yep, it is. Beautiful. Why isn't it cooking? Yeah. It's right next to Antares. There's not much to say. It's that simple. Do I really need to draw a highlight? Yeah, sure. Just for the sake of it, I'll draw the highlight. But yeah, it's very simple. It's right next to Antares. Antares and friends, you know? So you have did this weird pentagon-y thing and draw a line here and you move here. Perfect. Voila. Magic. Not much to say. It's that simple. So now we move away from Messier 4 and we move on into fun. I like Omega Centauri. It is beautiful. There's a lot to see here, you know? There's really a lot to see, which I've conveniently drawn out here. So let's go through them one by one. First, we will go through the V because I like the V. The V is here, and then you realize that there'll be the cap. The cap is weird. It's like here. This is a cap. I don't know what to call it, so it's a cap. The L is used already, and there's technically another star here, so nah, but yeah. And then the pointer is this thing here. It looks a bit like crux here, but it's not the crux. No, I kind of like funny how there's like a pointer and also like technically Centaurus is like silent pointer, you know, and then you know crux, you know, it's funny if you ask me. And then the curl is like, oh wait, first this is the little crux. I don't know what to call it. Trapezium, little crux, something I guess. And then there's the curl. The curl is here. There's a small curl here as well. But yeah, there's quite a few curls which you will get into. But so there's a lot of stuff you can use, right? So how do you know what to use? In fact, you can see the blue stars, they can also be used, but they're not that accurate than the asterisms, quote unquote asterisms. So I'd rather you use the asterism. How do you remember? Use the V. First, you either locate the V or you locate this. They're quite obvious, relatively. This one's actually like the most obvious, and this one as well. But yeah, basically, you realize that this thing's kind of like an oval shape, right? So on either side of the oval, you have the V and you have the cap, right? If you get the V, this part of the V points towards the pointer, and this open part points toward the curl and also the outer trapezium thing. And then opposite this is the cap. If you locate the cap, you can use the same method to find that. Which is why at the start you saw that I drew like this sort of a, you know, cross shape, because it's kind of a, you know, you see the north, south, east, west, each of them has something going on, which in my opinion is quite cool. So you see that in this case the cap is more obvious, so we can use this to find the V, which in this case is actually not that obvious. Like heck, this is blurry ASF. God forbid you see anything here. So but the V should be like somewhere here, somewhere. This is immensely confusing. So we can skip the V for now and see if we can find the pointer or anything else, because if there's more than one option, you kind of want to use more than one option to locate your stuff, am I right? So let's take a look, see where the pointer can be, and you can see the pointer is here. So we found the pointer, right? Then now using the pointer you can think. So if the pointer is here, then well, what about the rest? Where is the rest supposed to be? You realize that the pointer means that the V is supposed to point in like this direction, so you can sort of assume it's like here or something. I don't know, man. But the V should be around here. But since you located the pointer, that also means that you can probably find mini bean, which is likely this thing. And if you found mini bean, you might be able to locate the circles, the curls. I can only see like one. But yeah, I mean, after point doesn't matter. If you can find like 2 of the asterisms, or in some cases 1, but since Omega Sun has more, you can try to find more, you're basically good to go. You can just tell yourself that I was going fine and just call it a day. And in this case, this one and this one is kind of like the 2 main giveaways. And notice sometimes you realize that they're not an exact fit, you know? It's like, you would think that if you turn this thing over, right? Like technically this, I mean it would actually, if you move it like this. But sometimes, right, it's like flipped. So don't be surprised, it happens. It depends on how you photograph it and your post editing skills and whatsoever, and even directions might change, so as you have seen earlier, so that's not really a big deal. The deal is just the asterism, all that, and it's largely in where it's supposed to be. So yeah, don't worry too much about it. And moving on, we have more curls, but it's only that visible when you're zooming in, so that's why it's not on the previous one. You see that this C-shaped curl. I see this C-shaped curl like everywhere. Like there's one in Scudum and there's one in like Capricornus. I don't get it, but like sure, it helps me, so I roll with it, obviously. And then similarly, there's, you know, the curl again here, and well, yeah, you see there's another the V shape here is a bit more obvious. And in this case, the cap isn't that visible. In fact, the cap is normally outside, so unfortunate. But yeah. I was thinking. Technically, there's another curl, like near the pointer. But it's like too many curls. So like, we didn't talk about that, I guess. But yeah, we have 2 curls, and then the V. I'm not sure if the... Yeah, I don't think so. But the curls and stuff should be enough already, so we can call that a day. And if we move on here, oh, yeah, I see the V's here as well. Sort of. It's like sort of here. It's hard to make it out. The blue star sort of helps it a little, which is why I could tell where vaguely was, like, down here. Because the blue star. Kind of. But it's, like, difficult. There's also this, so... Yeah, but it's, like, around here. That's one thing I can say for sure. But in this case, it's very easy, and, but the cap is still somehow easier because it's a cap, I guess. And then moving on, you can see the pointer once again, right over here. Can we see the curls this time? I know it's here. Just where. You know, sometimes it's the pain of not knowing where. I will just not bother. There's like weird curls here, but I'm not sure if it's the correct one. Can we just take it as the correct one? Is it that correct? Nah, it looks... Oh, if I can find the mini bean, then it might be correct. But then isn't the mini bean at the other side? Yeah, it is. So just how many curls are there? Fascinating. Basically, there's a lot of curls. Yeah, the curls are between the trapezium and then the V shape. So I would assume that if I see a curl here, I could call it a day. I have no clue, man. But yeah, so that's Omega Centauri. And do I really need to? I mean, sure, we can look at Omega Centauri. Omega Centauri, which is right here. I mean, it's quite famous. Most people that are decently into DSL should recognize it. But if you don't, you go to Centaurus, right? And then you see the star, and the star which is quite bright. You connect the line, kind of go to the midpoint, and you shift a bit right. You can also use these two as sort of a guide. You know, it's like vaguely that already. So yeah, Mega Centauri is a relatively easy one to find. Plus, it itself is quite bright. It's like the brightest global cluster you can see. So sometimes you can just see it, like naked eye. It just looks like a weird blob. It's just floating there, you know? So just go for it. And you get it. Very nice, am I right? So yeah, that is it for today's episode of Looking for Stuff. And next time, the next video is either gonna be April 2 or another one of these, except I'll be going through nebulae. Also up on the list is open clusters, of course. So yeah, don't fret not. It's gonna be at least a 3-part series. So basically go through all you need to know. Maybe galaxies. I will look into it. Galaxies should be reasonably easy. So yeah. It's nebulae and open clusters the one that I'm kind of more concerned about. Because like galaxies is not much to test, to be honest. Or like to see generally as a amateur astronomer with a, you know, reasonable telescope that's not like OP like Hubble or JWST. So yeah, I'm quite sure about galaxies. But yeah, nebula and open clusters less so. Nebula, some of them can look quite similar. Like sometimes you can confuse Orion and Carina, at least I can, if you take, you know, some shots that sort of have a similar color palette and cropped into a nice place. Like some obvious ones like Horsehead, like most people can recognize Horsehead, and also Eagle Nebula because the pillars of creation. But like others, nah. And sometimes there's too many nebulae, you just don't know which is which. Same for open clusters, especially because it's an open cluster and people don't think too much about it. As for globular clusters, I don't think, at least I haven't really been seeing any, globular cluster identification, which is why I decided to make this video first. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. And once again, thanks for watching, and see y'all next time.